Transit Police Officer Rodriguez went from ordering a black man to leave the subway platform to explaining to his captain why he had harassed the transportation commissioner during an official inspection.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and a comment before we start to learn more about what happened.
It all started when he assumed the wrong person didn't belong on public transit. The Tuesday morning rush hour at Grand Central Station filled the subway platform with thousands of commuters navigating the Metropolitan Transit Authority's complex network of underground trains that transported over 2 million passengers daily through the city's 5 boroughs. The transit system represented one of the world's largest public transportation networks, requiring constant oversight and strategic management to maintain safety, efficiency, and reliability for millions of daily riders. Transportation Commissioner Marcus Williams descended the stairs to Platform 7 at 8:30 a.m., carrying a leather portfolio containing system performance reports, budget analyses, and inspection checklists that would guide his monthly evaluation of subway operations. At 48, Williams had served as the city's chief transportation official for 4 years, overseeing a $15 billion annual budget and managing infrastructure projects that included track maintenance, station renovations, and technology upgrades essential for modern urban mobility. Williams's inspection routine involved unannounced visits to subway stations throughout the system, observing passenger flow, evaluating safety protocols, and assessing the performance of transit employees who were responsible for maintaining order and security in the underground environment. Today's visit to Grand Central would focus on platform crowding, train scheduling efficiency, and the effectiveness of security measures during peak commuting hours. Transit Police Officer Carlos Rodriguez was completing his third hour of platform duty, monitoring passenger behavior and maintaining order among the crowds of commuters who passed through Grand Central Station during the morning rush. At 34, Rodriguez had worked for the Metropolitan Transit Authority Police for 7 years, specializing in platform security and crowd control that required constant vigilance for suspicious activity, safety violations, and potential security threats. Rodriguez's approach to transit policing emphasized proactive intervention to prevent problems before they escalated into major incidents. His training included identifying individuals who might pose risks to passenger safety, maintaining clear passenger flow through crowded areas, and ensuring that only legitimate transit users occupied platform space during busy periods. When Rodriguez observed Williams standing near the edge of Platform 7, several factors triggered his law enforcement assessment. Williams appeared to be lingering without obvious purpose. His business attire seemed inconsistent with typical rush-hour commuters, and his stationary position was creating potential congestion in an area where passenger movement was critical for safety and efficiency. Rodriguez approached Williams with the authority of someone responsible for maintaining platform order. "Excuse me, sir, you need to move along. This area is for active passengers only." Williams looked up from his inspection notes, surprised by the officer's directive. "I'm observing platform operations. I have authorization to be here." Rodriguez studied Williams's appearance and demeanor, noting that his explanation seemed vague, and his presence continued to interfere with normal passenger flow. "Sir, you can't just stand around on the platform. If you're not catching a train, you need to leave the station." Williams understood that Rodriguez was following standard crowd control procedures, but the officer's assumption that he didn't belong on the platform suggested a lack of awareness about transit system oversight. "Officer Rodriguez," he said, reading the name tag, "I'm conducting an official inspection of this station." Rodriguez was skeptical of Williams's claim, as unauthorized individuals often provided false explanations to justify their presence in restricted or regulated areas. "What kind of inspection? Do you have identification from the Transit Authority?" Williams reached into his portfolio to retrieve his official credentials, while noting that Rodriguez's questioning was becoming unnecessarily aggressive for someone with legitimate authority to inspect transit operations. "Here's my identification," Williams said, presenting his Transportation Commissioner badge and Metropolitan Transit Authority credentials. Rodriguez examined the documents with confusion, noting the official seals and professional formatting that appeared authentic, but remaining uncertain about their significance within the transit system's hierarchy. "Transportation Commissioner," Rodriguez read aloud, his voice reflecting growing uncertainty about Williams's status. Williams nodded. "That's correct. I oversee the entire Metropolitan Transit Authority, including this subway system and your police department." Rodriguez stared at Williams with mounting alarm as he realized the potential implications of his actions. "You're the Transportation Commissioner?" Williams confirmed his identity while observing Rodriguez's shock. "I am, and you've just ordered the head of the Transit Authority to leave his own subway system." Rodriguez felt his confidence evaporating as he understood that he had challenged the authority of the official responsible for managing the entire transportation network. "Sir, I didn't know who you were." Williams maintained his professional demeanor while addressing the underlying issues revealed by the encounter. "Officer Rodriguez, that's exactly the problem. You assumed I didn't belong here based on your assessment of my appearance, rather than any legitimate security concern." Rodriguez tried to justify his actions. "Sir, I was maintaining platform order and ensuring passenger safety." Williams shook his head. "Officer Rodriguez, you were making assumptions about who belongs on public transit. I was standing quietly, taking notes, and not interfering with passenger movement in any way." Rodriguez was forced to examine his decision-making process and acknowledge that his intervention had been based on subjective assessments rather than objective security concerns. Williams used the encounter as an educational opportunity. "Officer Rodriguez, effective transit policing requires identifying actual safety threats and security violations, not making assumptions about who looks like they belong on public transportation." Rodriguez listened as Williams explained how discriminatory policing could undermine the transit system's mission of providing equal access to all citizens, regardless of their appearance or perceived status. "Officer Rodriguez," Williams continued, "public transportation is exactly that, public. Every citizen has the right to use these facilities without being questioned about their purpose or ordered to leave based on assumptions about their legitimacy." Rodriguez was beginning to understand the broader implications of his approach to transit security. Williams pointed to his inspection clipboard. "Officer Rodriguez, I was evaluating platform safety, observing passenger flow patterns, and assessing the performance of transit employees. Your intervention prevented me from completing an official inspection that affects the safety and efficiency of this entire station." Rodriguez realized that his actions had interfered with legitimate oversight activities that were essential for improving transit operations. "Officer Rodriguez," Williams said, "I want you to think about what happened here today. Consider whether your approach to platform security might be affecting other passengers who have every right to use public transportation without harassment." Rodriguez nodded, recognizing that his assumptions about Williams could reflect broader patterns of discriminatory treatment toward minority transit users. Williams looked at his watch. "Officer Rodriguez, I need to complete my inspection and attend a budget meeting where we'll be discussing transit police funding and performance metrics." Rodriguez understood the implications of Williams's statement and the potential consequences for his career and department. Williams gathered his inspection materials. "Officer Rodriguez, I'll be filing a report on this incident, but I also want to use it as an opportunity to improve training and policies for transit police interactions with the public." Over the following weeks, Williams implemented comprehensive bias training for all Transit Authority police officers, emphasizing constitutional policing and respectful treatment of all transit users. Rodriguez completed the training and revised his approach to platform security, focusing on actual safety concerns rather than assumptions about who belonged in transit facilities. The Metropolitan Transit Authority developed new protocols for officer recognition of system officials and procedures for verifying the credentials of individuals conducting legitimate oversight activities. Williams continued his monthly inspection routine with renewed attention to ensuring that all passengers received equal treatment and respectful service from transit employees. The incident became part of the Transit Police Academy's training curriculum, demonstrating how assumptions about race and appearance could lead to inappropriate enforcement actions and constitutional violations. Rodriguez became an advocate for bias-free policing and worked with community organizations to improve relationships between transit police and the diverse ridership of the subway system. Williams' leadership in addressing the incident contributed to improved passenger satisfaction and increased trust between the transit system and the communities it served. The Metropolitan Transit Authority implemented policy changes, emphasizing that public transportation must remain accessible and welcoming to all citizens, regardless of their appearance or perceived status. And Officer Rodriguez learned that effective transit security comes from protecting everyone's right to use public transportation safely and without discrimination, recognizing that the people who look like they don't belong might actually be the ones responsible for ensuring that the entire system serves everyone equally. Because sometimes the most important journeys happen not on trains, but in the moments when we recognize that public spaces belong to everyone, and that effective security requires protecting all citizens' rights to access the services they help fund through their tax dollars.